Hello and welcome to another powerful Genuine Healing Group SFT tapping event. This one is being recorded on the portal of the Labor Day weekend, at least in America. And this tapping event is focused on the ordinary person and healing those that are disenfranchised by the powerful, the wealthy, generally a whole bunch of other assholes. This one is called David Slays Goliath. I'm Marvin Schneider.
And I'm Jen Ward. Hi, everybody. You know, I realized I had this epiphany a couple years ago what the real divide was in the world. People think it's between the haves and the have-nots, or the races or whatever. You know what the real divide is?
Tell me.
It's between the grateful and the what's the opposite of grateful?
The ungrateful?
Yeah. So
the entitled.
entitled.
Those that think that they can do anything that they want, regardless of its impact on those around them, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and even people who don't feel entitled because they feel like resentful of what the world has given to them or not given to them, there's still an entitlement there because they still have this belief system that the world or their life is just going to be wonderful, right? They don't realize that all through history, there's not been a generation that just slid through and just didn't have to work hard. After the Second World War, everyone was so grateful that that era was over that they just wanted to relax, and they were resting and stuff, and they'd give their children everything and spoil them rotten, and they didn't want them to have any problems or whatever. That wasn't true before, World War II. Before then, people were fighting to strive to get ahead and everything. And in America, for the most part, people have lost that drive to do better. And that's why when immigrants come into America, at least, they're so successful because they haven't lost that drive. They still know what it's like to be without.
Okay, so I'm all good for having the drive, the passion. This is about sort of connecting with your passion and purpose, and pursuing that passion and purpose with a degree of vigor and skill, and building the muscle memory to be a master, to have mastery over the skills you need to pursue your passion and purpose. Where I get lost in this whole narrative, and we're talking about the American dream at the moment, is pursue your passion and purpose. That's great, but a lot of people underlying behind that is the idea that they will transcend from being the ordinary man, person, Joe Schmo, to being one of these entitled assholes. That's the American dream, or the aspect of the American dream that I disconnect with. So the idea of, pursuing your passion and purpose, having the drive, as you just described, Jen, is 100% really important, but do it for its innate good, not the idea to become wealthy so that you can then be at the top of the totem pole and to, pretty much, screw over, everyone on the bottom of the totem pole. And by the way, can I just say this, that the title of this event is called David Slays Goliath.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're trying to elevate and empower the Davids of the world and contain the, the pursuit of power of the Goliaths.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's really interesting because that's your definition of the American dream from the outside, from another country. From my inside understanding of the American dream, it's the belief that anyone can get ahead, anyone has the opportunity to get ahead. The problem is how that gets interpreted by Americans is that they're entitled to that without putting in the effort or the intention or anything. So it's skewed. I mean, and so there's that. But Americans starting out don't realize that they have this mentality of entitlement just by being in America. They don't understand that until you've been out of America. You don't understand how prevalent that mentality is of just, I deserve. You see it on all these shows, on my reality shows. You'll see, I deserve to win. Well, no, the person who deserves to win is the person who's worked his hardest and put the most effort into it.
So this tapping event is not all about, the American dream. There are a couple of taps in relation to the American dream. And by the way, can I just say that the American dream, or the aspect of the American dream, which is all about, the pursuit of, uplifting yourself, it's not just the American dream, right? So that's another thing that, my interest and our interest is really to uplift all of humanity. So it's not just the American dream, it's the universal dream. And the universal dream is to, find your passion and purpose, but do it in a way that uplifts all of humanity. Nice and simple, not hard to understand. So as long as you're doing that, you're on the right track. But this tapping event is all about David Slays Goliath, and we're going to be dealing with the Davids, helping the Davids of the world, which is all about the universal empowerment, because the better part of 8 billion people are not the Goliaths. It's the Goliaths that are diminishing the Davids. And so we need to rebalance things, and that's what we're doing today.
Yes, babies, but think about it. We are here to uplift 8 billion people, but think about people who are like suffering in autocracy. They have no concept that they can be empowered and they can have the dream. So my interpretation of the American dream as I have it, I can feed that in energy to all 8 billion people through the love waves, whatever you want to call the way we emanate out and communicate with 8 billion people, which I do, and send them that intention and encouragement through the love waves, so they may not know it in words, they may never have experienced it, but through our love and intentions, we can give them the inclination to raise consciousness and take down the Goliaths of their country.
So this is a group tapping event. We're recording it on the portal of Labor Day, at least in America. It's not our Labor Day. But Jen, group tapping, can you just quickly explain to those that are not familiar, if they've been living under a rock for the last couple of years, what's going to go on?
So I'm going to say a statement. It's an intention for the universe. I'm going to say the statement, and you're going to say it 3 times. We'll tap on the top of your head. A 4th time we'll tap in your chest, and a 5th time we'll tap in your abdomen. And if you miss the words or you're confused, just follow along with Marvin and just tap with him. Your brain will get the intention. All right. So don't worry about doing it wrong. If this is your first time, it's fine.
That is not their first time. All the people on our Zoom call, thank you for joining us again. We do a lot of these tapping events. Thanks for being here. And we're going to do profound energy work. So should we get into it?
Absolutely. All right. You ready? Blue-collar workers are universally validated and appreciated in all moments.
Blue-collar workers are universally validated and appreciated in all moments. Blue-collar workers are universally validated and appreciated in all moments. Blue-collar workers are universally validated and appreciated in all moments. Blue-collar workers are universally validated and appreciated in all moments. Blue-collar workers are universally validated and appreciated in all moments.
David systemically transcends Goliath in all moments.
David systemically transcends Goliath in all moments. David systemically transcends Goliath in all moments. David systemically transcends Goliath in all moments. David systemically transcends Goliath in all moments. David systemically transcends Goliath in all moments.
All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off Goliath in all moments.
All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off Goliath in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off Goliath in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off Goliath in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off Goliath in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off Goliath in all moments.
All mainstream forms of elevating white collar over blue collar are eradicated in all moments.
All mainstream forms of elevating white collar over blue collar are eradicated in all moments. All mainstream forms of elevating white collar over blue collar are eradicated in all moments. All mainstream forms of elevating white collar over blue collar are eradicated in all moments. All mainstream forms of elevating white collar over blue collar are eradicated in all moments. All mainstream forms of elevating white collar over blue collar are eradicated in all moments.
All corporate malfeasance is eradicated in all moments.
All corporate malfeasance is eradicated in all moments. All corporate malfeasance is eradicated in all moments. All corporate malfeasance is eradicated in all moments. All corporate malfeasance is eradicated in all moments. All corporate malfeasance is eradicated in all moments.
The wage she of all the disenfranchised is repaired and fortified in all moments.
The Wei Qi of all the disenfranchised is repaired and fortified in all moments. The Wei Qi of all the disenfranchised is repaired and fortified in all moments. The Wei Qi of all the disenfranchised is repaired and fortified in all moments. The Wei Qi of all the disenfranchised is repaired and fortified in all moments. The Wei Qi of all the disenfranchised is repaired and fortified in all moments.
All the disenfranchised regain all that was taken from them in all moments.
All the disenfranchised regain all that was taken from them in all moments. All the disenfranchised regain all that was taken from them in all moments. All the disenfranchised regain all that was taken from them in all moments. All the disenfranchised regain all that was taken from them in all moments. All the disenfranchised regain all that was taken from them in all moments.
All cracks in society between the haves and have-nots are repaired in all moments.
All cracks in society between the haves and have-nots are repaired in all moments. All cracks in society between the haves and have-nots are repaired in all moments. All cracks in society between the haves and have-nots are repaired in all moments. All cracks in society between the haves and have-nots are repaired in all moments. All cracks in society between the haves and have-nots are repaired in all moments.
All blockages to the have-nots, having, are removed in all moments.
All blockages to the have-nots having are removed in all moments. All blockages to the have-nots having are removed in all moments. All blockages to the have-nots having are removed in all moments. All blockages to the have-nots having are removed in all moments. All blockages to the have-nots having are removed in all moments. Jen, can I just pause here because we
Sure.
do like to provide a little commentary throughout the tapping sequence. I just want to pick up on the conversation about the underlying motivation or the drive that sort of pushes the American dream towards, uplifting themselves. So, the last tap that we just did, all blockages to the have-nots having are removed, is great. That's fundamentally what we're here to do. But I want to address the motivation for becoming a having. And it's not having to the exclusion of others so that you get yourself up on the totem pole. The motivation for having, which, in our parlance is universal empowerment, which is living your life of passion and purpose with joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success. The motivation for that empowerment, in my view, ought to be to do your bit to uplift all of humanity, not to accumulate wealth so that you can then exert power over the poor bastards that are still in the have-not category. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And that's what's wrong with society right now is it's a hierarchical system. So let me say it this way. If your intention for heaven is to get one up on
Yeah.
your fellow man, it's not going to, in the future of higher consciousness, it's going to be seen as being a take and not for higher purpose, and it's going to fail.
Yes.
Because, yeah.
So the universe will not support you in your desire to have for the purposes of one-upmanship over those that are still in the have-not category. Because, universal empowerment, which is the state of consciousness that we're working tirelessly to promote, and thankfully we're seeing some momentum in that direction. In the state of universal empowerment, there is an even keel amongst those, and what it does reflect is a state of abundance for all. And so the idea of having to take because I need it in competition with you doesn't exist. And so, and that does require people, the broader 8 billion people in the collective, to operate in a state of higher consciousness where the primary motivation for getting up every morning is to uplift all of humanity, not to put another dollar in the bank account.
Absolutely. And people who are waiting for this huge shift in consciousness to come, and they're waiting to be saved from someone. It's so subtle, people. It's already happening, and you don't realize it. But what's happening is the underlying currents are changing. So what was once a place of stillness was, if you do nothing. In old consciousness, there would be degeneration, right? You do nothing and you degenerate. In new consciousness, if you do nothing, you regenerate. So the paradigm has shifted from breaking down, if you leave it alone, to just becoming better if you leave it alone.
But we're not promoting doing nothing and sitting on your ass and just being a degenerate.
Okay. No. That's why it's hard to speak about these things in words, because everything you say will be misconstrued. As a matter of fact, that whole thing about let go and let God, surrender, has become a state of stagnancy, because people have backed off and they don't help others because they said, oh no, let God do it, not me. And they have misconstrued what that means. So
I'm not sure I fully understand what you're trying to say about, in the old days, doing nothing was a state of degeneration, but in higher consciousness, doing nothing is a state of regeneration. I don't think I quite understand that, but from my perspective, because I'm just a poor dumb bastard country lawyer, right? From my perspective, the real opportunity is to almost be so busy and so committed in your pursuit of passion and purpose in uplifting all of humanity that, maybe what you're saying is that while you're doing all of that, there's a state of, it's almost ease, that you don't have to struggle and fight to do it. It's like, you're doing it, you're pursuing your life of passion and purpose, and you're uplifting all of humanity, but it's almost like an effortless thing. If that's what you're saying, I'm 100% with you.
Yes, let me give you an example. In current events right now, the evangelistic Christians, whatever you call them, are trying so hard to micromanage everybody. They're trying to do everything because they think, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this. No, people, everything you do is to improve yourself. And once it bleeds over into controlling other people, you've just lost the mark. You've just digressed to lower consciousness. So when you're busy in this pursuit of higher consciousness, everything is imbued with integrity, compassion, sincerity, truth. All these things resonate with higher consciousness. The minute you judge, the minute you control, the minute you mandate, you have dropped down in consciousness and you're fucked. The thumb is removed from the scale of the disenfranchised in all moments.
The thumb is removed from the scale of the disenfranchised in all moments. The thumb is removed from the scale of the disenfranchised in all moments. The thumb is removed from the scale of the disenfranchised in all moments. The thumb is removed from the scale of the disenfranchised in all moments. The thumb is removed from the scale of the disenfranchised in all moments.
All worship or glorifying those who take is eradicated in all moments.
All worship or glorifying those who take is eradicated in all moments. All worship or glorifying those who take is eradicated in all moments. All worship or glorifying those who take is eradicated in all moments. All worship or glorifying those who take is eradicated in all moments. All worship or glorifying those who take is eradicated in all moments.
All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off all snakes, oil salesmen in all moments.
All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off all snake oil salesmen in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off all snake oil salesmen in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off all snake oil salesmen in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off all snake oil salesmen in all moments. All masks, walls, armor, and illusion is stripped off all snake oil salesmen in all moments.
All burdens, shackles, and heavy yoke is removed from all of the disenfranchised in all moments.
All burden, shackles, and heavy yoke is removed from all of the disenfranchised in all moments. All burden, shackles, and heavy yoke is removed from all of the disenfranchised in all moments. All burden, shackles, and heavy yoke is removed from all of the disenfranchised in all moments. All burden, shackles, and heavy yoke is removed from all of the disenfranchised in all moments. All burden, shackles, and heavy yoke is removed from all of the disenfranchised in all moments.
Because there's times in history that a lot of the collective, at least my clients, romanticize. One of them is the Viking era, which is like really ruthless and where fighting was seen as spiritual, right? And another one is Atlantis, right? So in Atlantis, what we're experiencing now is similar to the vibration of Atlantis. There were power mongers and they were taken and they were driving people farther into enslavement with their tactics, right? And so they had this means of energetically lobotomizing people. And we see that play out, well, I do in energy, see that playing out in the current events. And that's what we're working against is people, if you're romanticizing Atlantis, you have to look at that because there's something there that's not right. Atlantis was destroyed because it was an imbalance of power. And we don't want that. We don't want to be like Atlantis. So you got to stop romanticizing it because when you romanticize it, you are bringing those engrams back to the present and you are part of the problem then. All energetic lobotomies are reversed in all moments.
All energetic lobotomies are reversed in all moments. All energetic lobotomies are reversed in all moments. All energetic lobotomies are reversed in all moments. All energetic lobotomies are reversed in all moments. All energetic lobotomies are reversed in all moments.
Want to hear a fun fact about Atlantis that people don't realize? Is that people who love their stones and crystals, in Atlantis, they signified a status that you had earned. Like healers could wear this kind of stone or have this kind, whatever, and they became a status symbol. So that's where people today who are into wealth want to have certain gems and stones and jewelry because in Atlantis Day, those represented power. And so that's what they represent now.
So the funny thing is that a lot of people think about the Atlantis era as being an era of enlightenment on planet Earth. From what you're describing, I'm wondering how enlightened the Atlanteans really were, and the other races that coexisted on the planet at the time. We're talking about lobotomy and being lobotomized. So when you say that people, a lot of your clients and, a reasonable part of the population romanticize the Atlantis era, they're not romanticizing about being lobotomized, are you? Because you're saying that the practice of lobotomy was actually, energetic lobotomy was actually quite prevalent. I'm wondering whether a lot of the MAGA faithful zealots are the lobotomized of the Atlantis era, because it's just, I look at, I don't understand how ordinary, well-thinking people, short of being completely energetically lobotomized, would still, in this day and age, support the whole MAGA agenda. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. There's energetic pieces missing, and part of the work I've been doing even before people knew I did energy work was to repair the DNA of people who were more, in primal mode, ready to fight and attack. That's actually all they were capable of. But with this energy work we're doing in the SFT tapping, which is actually taken energy that has been hoarded by the power factions and given it back to those it was taken from. That's when we say that we're reversing the lobotomies, we are literally reversing the lobotomies. That's why we've built up this muscle memory and this ability to do this. And that's why we do it day and night, because the need is so great. And Atlantis in that time, they didn't know that they were all into power. They saw it simply like Americans would see the American dream. They deserve the American dream. And that way, Atlantis people, they may have been poor, they may have been, disenfranchised, but as long as they existed in this place, they thought they were part of this entitlement, which they weren't receiving. Like a lot of Americans are not receiving the encouragement and the energetic support to be all that they can be, which is what we're shifting with this energy work. Does that make sense? All psychic peddling of wares is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All psychic peddling of wares is immediately eradicated in all moments. All psychic peddling of wares is immediately eradicated in all moments. All psychic peddling of wares is immediately eradicated in all moments. All psychic peddling of wares is immediately eradicated in all moments. All psychic peddling of wares is immediately eradicated in all moments.
Have you noticed the more we do these taps, this intense energy work, the more you and I can speak about truth and just put it out there? It's everything we've done before now is laying the groundwork so people can handle this truth without attacking it or being destroyed by it. So as you listen to our podcasts going forward, there'll be more and more interesting truths coming out that are now safe to be heard by everyone without going off on conspiracy tangents or whatever. All stolen dreams are returned in all moments.
All stolen dreams are returned in all moments. All stolen dreams are returned in all moments. All stolen dreams are returned in all moments. All stolen dreams are returned in all moments. All stolen dreams are returned in all moments.
I have a great visualization for this. Now, do you know what a dream catcher is?
Yeah.
Supposedly it catches all the bad dreams and collects them. But visualize, what if there's something, visualize a dream catcher that's actually catching our creativity, imagination stuff. Imagine this dream catcher as big as the earth, and it's all jammed up with all our dreams, our inspirations, creativity, and ingenuity. And imagine flicking it and shaking it and cleaning it and allowing all these dreams to be free. And imagine them like golden butterflies just being free and like filling the sky and cleansing and going back to individuals. So all this creativity is released in the world.
Yep. That's what we're here doing.
Absolutely. All voices are heard and all dreams are validated in all moments.
All voices are heard and all dreams are validated in all moments. All voices are heard and all dreams are validated in all moments. All voices are heard and all dreams are validated in all moments. All voices are heard and all dreams are validated in all moments. All voices are heard and all dreams are validated in all moments.
All those down for the count get a second wind in all moments.
All those down for the count get a second wind in all moments. All those down for the count get a second wind in all moments. All those down for the count get a second wind in all moments. All those down for the count get a second wind in all moments. All those down for the count get a second wind in all moments.
All those basking in stolen glory are stripped down to their own skivvies in all moments.
All those basking in stolen glory are stripped down to their own skivvies in all moments. All those basking in stolen glory are stripped down to their own skivvies in all moments. All those basking in stolen glory are stripped down to their own skivvies in all moments. All those basking in stolen glory are stripped down to their own skivvies in all moments. All those basking in stolen glory are stripped down to their own skivvies in all moments. Jen, there's a lot of things about the 70s that are just, that just should never have occurred. But skivvies and the prominent, wearing of skivvies was one of those, yay, go skivvies.
Really?
We should bring it back. We should bring it back.
Babies, we never had it in America. I don't remember ghost skivvies.
Oh, no, you did. Trust me.
I remember streaking.
All of the, the intellectual Gentiles in New York City and, elsewhere in the university towns, they just love their skivvies.
All right, I'm going to trust you on that one, babies, because that went right over my head as far as.
Babies, you just weren't paying attention in the 70s.
No, I probably wasn't. All those who give service are thwarted from living off crumbs in all moments.
All those who give service are thwarted from living off crumbs in all moments. All those who give service are thwarted from living off crumbs in all moments. All those who give service are thwarted from living off crumbs in all moments. All those who give service are thwarted from living off crumbs in all moments. All those who give service are thwarted from living off crumbs in all moments.
Hero worship of the Goliath is eradicated in all moments.
Hero worship of the Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Hero worship of the Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Hero worship of the Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Hero worship of the Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Hero worship of the Goliath is eradicated in all moments. I think there's actually something in that, Jen, the idea of, looking up to the Goliath out there and trying to emulate them. I remember when I was going through business school as a sort of late 20s, I was when I went to business school. All of the people in business school with me, they all had the ambition of being, the next captain of industry and the next CEO. And they would always hero worship, all of these CEOs. And, now when you look at them, to be honest, most of them are complete assholes. and they abuse power. They screwed up their corporations. It's just, and so why would you want to emulate those? So I think you've really hit the nail here.
So, how did you fall through the cracks? Did you see through that back then?
Um, no, so I went along with it for about a decade. And after about a decade, I kind of realized that there's something wrong here. And I just didn't want to be part of that. So I kind of dropped out of that system. And here we are doing
Yeah.
the energy work, in the backwaters of, you know, regional Australia.
Isn't it amazing? All the little things that came together to get us to this point.
Mm.
I mean, if you would have just gone ahead with that, you could have like been one of these, you know, billionaire assholes too.
See, here's the thing. I actually wonder whether really successful people who, by and large, tend to become quite wealthy and quite powerful and influential. I wonder if towards the back end of their life, they then think about the totality of their life and wonder, what they actually achieved despite everything that they achieved because they were purportedly successful. Um, and
Right.
so, sometimes you wonder what they would aspire to have written on their headstone. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting thought. I mean, I wish more people would have their road to Damascus epiphany moment much earlier in their life, much earlier, and
Yeah.
then use the majority of their vigorous part of their life in the pursuit of uplifting all of humanity.
Yeah. And we've talked about this before that if you would have achieved that outward success, you would never have seen me. You would have never been able to, you know, connect with me because you'd be so busy in your own pursuits of something in a different trajectory. But yeah, I think when people have that midlife crisis, I think that midlife crisis is them turning around and looking and like, what's the point?
Yeah.
I used to have that all the time as like a 4 to 9 year old. I remember just sitting in front of the TV crying and everybody's laughing at me. Why was I crying? And I was having my midlife crisis. What's the point of all this? I don't understand. So it'd be cool if people could catch it before puberty and really.
Well, that'll be the holy grail if, by the time of puberty or shortly after, people are fairly locked on to what the purpose of life is. That would save them a whole lot of angst. Just saying.
You know when you see these children come out and they're like are very successful, like they're like savant entrepreneurs or whatever. That's that's should be the average. These children were support. They have the drive and they weren't closed up energetically, and they were able to like maintain their empowerment they came in with, and their parents supported them, and they were able to run with the possibilities. That's the bar for everyone to start at, hopefully. Special treatment of Goliath is eradicated in all moments.
Special treatment of Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Special treatment of Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Special treatment of Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Special treatment of Goliath is eradicated in all moments. Special treatment of Goliath is eradicated in all moments.
Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the back of David in all moments.
Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the back of David in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the back of David in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the back of David in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the back of David in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the back of David in all moments.
Babies, for this next tap, it's referring to my definition of the American dream where everyone can achieve. All right.
All right. And so I know the reference is the American dream, but effectively we're talking about the universal dream.
But this is why I started out in America, so I could have an understanding of that American dream and help everyone transcend it. Otherwise, I would be in Timbuktu in my childhood. Right? All blockages to the worldwide achievement of the American dream are removed in all moments.
All blockages to the worldwide achievement of the American dream are removed in all moments. All blockages to the worldwide achievement of the American dream are removed in all moments. All blockages to the worldwide achievement of the American dream are removed in all moments. All blockages to the worldwide achievement of the American dream are removed in all moments. All blockages to the worldwide achievement of the American dream are removed in all moments.
Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the neck of the American dream in all moments.
Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the neck of the American dream in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the neck of the American dream in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the neck of the American dream in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the neck of the American dream in all moments. Goliath is immediately thwarted from stepping on the neck of the American dream in all moments.
About how the American dream is the universal dream, and how I was thinking of lately Kamala Harris is talking about the promise of this country, and every time she says it, I want to say the promise for every soul. And every time I hear someone talk about just the American family or my family, it's like, wait a minute, what about the trees in your yard and the bugs in your the pollinators? And it just infuriates me because it's just this expansiveness, and it has to be. And so I really appreciate what you're doing, and how you're pointing out that it's just not the American dream, it's every individual's dream. But then to remember that we're connected to all of life. And so that's where I was going on that tap, just kind of.
So here's the thing, when Kamala Harris says that, it's a good start. What she's doing is taking back that sense for humans in this one demographic, because it has to have a starting point. All 8 billion people have been raped of that dream of thriving, to have joy, love, abundance, freedom, health, success, security, companionship, creativity, peace, life, wholeness, security, companionship, creativity, etc. So it's anchoring this sensation, that we can have back into at least humans. So that's a jump off point. So then we can do more. It's in the right direction, right?
I know exactly what you're saying, and I do like it when she says that. But then I jump off into, what's next.
Well, what's important is not to jump off to such a degree that people get turned off and they think we're foo-foo, like we can't stay in mainstream and we can't function. The whole purpose of this energy work, and thanks to Marvin for giving it legitimacy, is that someone who's like so off the charts and perceiving an energy like myself is relevant to mainstream. So it's important to pull mainstream into all these experiences that I have, so they can embrace that part of themselves that they don't share with other people. Most people have had spiritual experiences or things they don't talk about with other people, and they're too embarrassed or afraid to share it with others. Well, this is giving them license to, let their freak flag fly. Do you have that expression in Oz Babies?
We do. I just want to pick up on something that Therese said, and that is the whole Kamala Harris thing, and sort of, reconnecting to, that part of the American demographic. So, but then using that as a stepping stone for connecting into that passion and purpose for, all of the 8 billion people, because, just, fun fact, about 7.6 billion of the 8 billion people aren't American, right? So I understand that, Kamala and, that movement needs to appeal to a certain demographic to, achieve a particular and very important outcome. And that's important and that's okay. But at some point, we need to get beyond the America First rhetoric. And so, the right-hand end of the American political spectrum is 100%, vested in that ideology. It's a dangerous ideology. But even on the left, there's an element of that. I understand it, but we need to get beyond it fairly quickly. And sort of post-November, post-January, there really is a lot of sort of reconciliation required for all of humanity, not just Americans. I think we've kind of made that point.
Yeah, but just one more point. If you think about it, the way that Zelensky is bringing, success to, the thought for the world was that Ukraine was going to get destroyed. He's holding that same intention of the American dream for his country. It's not the American dream. It's just the label put on it because of our demographics. But it's the Ukrainian dream or the Russian dream to be free and sovereign or whatever. All vectors can be, change the name of the demographics, but it's a dream for all beings. Yeah. We're saying the same thing. The practice of catch and kill of ingenuity is immediately eradicated in all moments.
The practice of catch and kill of ingenuity is immediately eradicated in all moments. The practice of catch and kill of ingenuity is immediately eradicated in all moments. The practice of catch and kill of ingenuity is immediately eradicated in all moments. The practice of catch and kill of ingenuity is immediately eradicated in all moments. The practice of catch and kill of ingenuity is immediately eradicated in all moments.
The catch and kill of any aspiration of purpose is immediately eradicated in all moments.
The catch and kill of any aspiration of purpose is immediately eradicated in all moments. The catch and kill of any aspiration of purpose is immediately eradicated in all moments. The catch and kill of any aspiration of purpose is immediately eradicated in all moments. The catch and kill of any aspiration of purpose is immediately eradicated in all moments. The catch and kill of any aspiration of purpose is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All blockages to a universal tsunami of aspiration of purpose are removed in all moments.
All blockages to a universal tsunami of aspiration of purpose are removed in all moments. All blockages to a universal tsunami of aspiration of purpose are removed in all moments. All blockages to a universal tsunami of aspiration of purpose are removed in all moments. All blockages to a universal tsunami of aspiration of purpose are removed in all moments. All blockages to a universal tsunami of aspiration of purpose are removed in all moments.
This is already happening with innovations that, help the climate, like electric and sustainability. One country will invent something and then the whole world will have to catch up and do it. That's the beauty of aspiration of purpose. It raises the consciousness for the whole world. All party lines are immediately blurred in all moments.
All party lines are immediately blurred in all moments. All party lines are immediately blurred in all moments. All party lines are immediately blurred in all moments. All party lines are immediately blurred in all moments. All party lines are immediately blurred in all moments.
All lines in the sand are washed away by a tsunami of purpose in all moments.
All lines in the sand are washed away by a tsunami of purpose in all moments. All lines in the sand are flushed away by a tsunami of purpose in all moments. All lines in the sand are flushed away by a tsunami of purpose in all moments. All lines in the sand are flushed away by a tsunami of purpose in all moments. All lines in the sand are flushed away by a tsunami of purpose in all moments.
The golden rule is universally reinstated in all moments.
The golden rule is universally reinstated in all moments. The golden rule is universally reinstated in all moments. The golden rule is universally reinstated in all moments. The golden rule is universally reinstated in all moments. The golden rule is universally reinstated in all moments.
All engrams of muscle memory of being subjugated by Caesar are eradicated in all moments.
All engrams and muscle memory of being subjugated by Caesar are eradicated in all moments. All engrams and muscle memory of being subjugated by Caesar are eradicated in all moments. All engrams and muscle memory of being subjugated by Caesar are eradicated in all moments. All engrams and muscle memory of being subjugated by Caesar are eradicated in all moments. All engrams and muscle memory of being subjugated by Caesar are eradicated in all moments.
Humanity's paradigm is shifted from them versus us to love thy neighbor in all moments.
Humanity's paradigm is shifted from them versus us to love thy neighbor in all moments. Humanity's paradigm is shifted from them versus us to love thy neighbor in all moments. Humanity's paradigm is shifted from them versus us to love thy neighbor in all moments. Humanity's paradigm is shifted from them versus us to love thy neighbor in all moments. Humanity's paradigm is shifted from them versus us to love thy neighbor in all moments.
You know, I learned my morality. I didn't learn it from my parents. I learned it from these public service announcements that were on TV and the cartoons, and this was the stuff that was gifted to children. I remember this song when I was a child by the Archies. I saw my brother in a jam. I gave him a helping hand. Though I didn't know his name, he's my brother just the same. And so it's like that was a truth that resonates within me, and it still does. And that's what the children are starving for. They're starving for permission to be as loving and kind as they came in here to be, instead of being shamed and demoralized for being cute or nice. And oh, kissing is embarrassing, or being nice to your parents is embarrassing, or hugging a tree.
That is, we need to bring back flower power.
Absolutely. That was directly squelched by commercialism and bribery. In the 80s, in the 70s, it was all about flower power. And then Reaganomics came in and everyone was bribed by this economy in America, you know, to like let go of their morals and just make more money. That's when it went downhill, babies.
Do you know what really happened? All of the people that dropped out in that whole flower power era, as they got a little bit older, they started to tap into their creativity, innovation, and, you know, entrepreneurship. And they then became the new generation of the wealthy, the entitled. And then they lost their connection to what was sacred to them, you know, in their earlier years.
Well, you know what also really happened beyond that? The people who were really into that and got delusioned by not hitting the mark in that lifetime, reincarnated now as truthsayers. Like, I truly believe like the AOC of the world are people who saw the engine in the 70s and came back to keep going, and they came back educated. Now, they knew that they needed to be educated and couldn't be flower children to make a mark. That kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, just to add a little bit more color to what I was saying, I 100% agree with what you just said, by the way. But those that did, you know, participate in the whole flower power era and then became the captains of industry, you know, a decade later, my sense is that while they were doing the whole flower power thing, they tripped out on as much LSD as possible, tapped into some kind of inner thing, and then ran with it and commercialized it. and then became wealthy, and then they just lost the plot.
Because that's the ending of Mad Men series. Remember, we watched Mad Men and then the last version. But okay, so here's the thing, people. Wherever people go in their trips, be it ayahuasca, weed, or whatever, if if you hone your abilities to receive an energy, you can go to those places without those crutches. Now, I remember doing a contemplation, and when I do a contemplation, I'm just in the moment. Anytime I'm in the moment, I get downloaded this wisdom and insight. And one moment, I was taken to a side of a hill, and I was seeing what world peace was. World peace and how it's like everyone living their purpose and enjoying themselves. It wasn't a stagnant consciousness like socialism. And you know who was right next to me watching at the same time? John Lennon. And I was sitting next to him as he was stoned, was getting his vision for the song Imagine, where he articulated world peace, and then he got demonized for it because he said live for the moment and everything. The consciousness of the time couldn't understand what he was saying. It's beyond religion. Now we see how religion has been derailed and how you have to get your integrity beyond, a religion. That's what he was saying back then, and it still holds true. All distortions and doctrines of love are thwarted from being mandates of hate in all moments.
All distortions in doctrines of love are thwarted from being mandates of hate in all moments. All distortions in doctrines of love are thwarted from being mandates of hate in all moments. All distortions in doctrines of love are thwarted from being mandates of hate in all moments. All distortions in doctrines of love are thwarted from being mandates of hate in all moments. All distortions in doctrines of love are thwarted from being mandates of hate in all moments.
All false equivalents between power factions and truth avatars are immediately thwarted in all moments.
All false equivalents between power factions and truth avatars are immediately thwarted in all moments. All false equivalents between power factions and truth avatars are immediately thwarted in all moments. All false equivalents between power factions and truth avatars are immediately thwarted in all moments. All false equivalents between power factions and truth avatars are immediately thwarted in all moments. All false equivalents between power factions and truth avatars are immediately thwarted in all moments.
The subjugation of honest working people is immediately eradicated in all moments.
The subjugation of honest working people is immediately eradicated in all moments. The subjugation of honest working people is immediately eradicated in all moments. The subjugation of honest working people is immediately eradicated in all moments. The subjugation of honest working people is immediately eradicated in all moments. The subjugation of honest working people is immediately eradicated in all moments. Jen, do you want to know how that subjugation occurs in a very practical, tangible sense?
Sure.
So honest working people, they've got a job, they've got an income, and then they get sucked into the debt trap. Buy a home, mortgage it up, buy a car, mortgage it up, credit cards and all those things. And once you are caught up in the debt trap, you really are subjugating all of those honest working people. Because here's the thing, as soon as you've got a big debt, and we're talking about debt for a lifetime, 20, 30 years, let's just talk about mortgaging a house. It really does limit your options to pursue your passion and purpose outside of the immediate need to earn enough money to service that debt. So that's a great example, a practical example of how honest working people are subjugated up the yin yang, and then the soul is just sucked out of them because they then become slaves to the grind mill of 9 to 5. They can't step out of the fold for fear of bankruptcy.
Yep, and you want to know the first cause in that in a family is when a child has say, creative abilities or is good with their hands and good with building stuff and are really creative, but their parents are terrified that they need to make money, so demands that they go to school and do something that they have no joy for. It would behoove parents to allow their children to do what they're good at, and then their children will never work a day in their lives. It'll be a win-win, because when you're doing what you love, it's not work, as you and I know. Right?
I'm glad you said that last little bit, because I'm fairly certain that a lot of people that are watching this would say, look, Jen's just giving you, a whole bunch of parental advice to, encourage their children never to work a day in their life. But which is not what you're saying, there is this honest pursuit of passion and purpose. But what you're saying is that when you pursue that passion and purpose with the thing that gives you joy, love, and, other things, it's not work. It's the pursuit of passion and purpose.
Right, because you and I can both spend the whole day in our prospective offices just working on what we want to connect with 8 billion people. And neither one of us feels like we're, at the grind. It's a labor of love, right? Right, babies?
Yeah.
Babies.
Yes, babies. Yes, it is.
All right. All systemic vile resentment to helping others is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All systemic vile resentment to helping others is immediately eradicated in all moments. All systemic vile resentment to helping others is immediately eradicated in all moments. All systemic vile resentment to helping others is immediately eradicated in all moments. All systemic vile resentment to helping others is immediately eradicated in all moments. All systemic vile resentment to helping others is immediately eradicated in all moments.
Tying the arms of the disenfranchised behind their backs is immediately eradicated in all moments.
Tying the arms of the disenfranchised behind their back is immediately eradicated in all moments. Tying the arms of the disenfranchised behind their back is immediately eradicated in all moments. Tying the arms of the disenfranchised behind their back is immediately eradicated in all moments. Tying the arms of the disenfranchised behind their back is immediately eradicated in all moments. Tying the arms of the disenfranchised behind their back is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All self-righteousness of Goliath is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All self-righteousness of Goliath is immediately eradicated in all moments. All self-righteousness of Goliath is immediately eradicated in all moments. All self-righteousness of Goliath is immediately eradicated in all moments. All self-righteousness of Goliath is immediately eradicated in all moments. All self-righteousness of Goliath is immediately eradicated in all moments.
All hypocrisy is flushed out in the wash in all moments.
All hypocrisy is flushed out in the wash in all moments. All hypocrisy is flushed out in the wash in all moments. All hypocrisy is flushed out in the wash in all moments. All hypocrisy is flushed out in the wash in all moments. All hypocrisy is flushed out in the wash in all moments.
All demigods of corporate malfeasance are brought down to their knees in all moments.
All demigods of corporate malfeasance are brought down to their knees in all moments. All demigods of corporate malfeasance are brought down to their knees in all moments. All demigods of corporate malfeasance are brought down to their knees in all moments. All demigods of corporate malfeasance are brought down to their knees in all moments. All demigods of corporate malfeasance are brought down to their knees in all moments.
The scattered myriad of the disenfranchised unify to a bombastic wave of empowerment in all moments.
The scattered myriad of the disenfranchised unify to a bombastic wave of empowerment in all moments. The scattered myriad of the disenfranchised unify to a bombastic wave of empowerment in all moments. The scattered myriad of the disenfranchised unify to a bombastic wave of empowerment in all moments. The scattered myriad of the disenfranchised unify to a bombastic wave of empowerment in all moments. The scattered myriad of the disenfranchised unify to a bombastic wave of empowerment in all moments.
Them versus us is universally transcended in all moments.
Them versus us is universally transcended in all moments. Them versus us is universally transcended in all moments. Them versus us is universally transcended in all moments. Them versus us is universally transcended in all moments. Them versus us is universally transcended in all moments.
The haves are morally compelled to upgrade the have-nots in all moments.
The haves are morally compelled to upgrade the have-nots in all moments. The haves are morally compelled to upgrade the have-nots in all moments. The haves are morally compelled to upgrade the have-nots in all moments. The haves are morally compelled to upgrade the have-nots in all moments. The haves are morally compelled to upgrade the have-nots in all moments.
All have-nots are upgraded to haves in all moments.
All have-nots are upgraded to haves in all moments. All have-nots are upgraded to haves in all moments. All have-nots are upgraded to haves in all moments. All have-nots are upgraded to haves in all moments. All have-nots are upgraded to haves in all moments.
All pride of purpose is redistributed throughout the land in all moments.
All pride of purpose is redistributed throughout the land in all moments. All pride of purpose is redistributed throughout the land in all moments. All pride of purpose is redistributed throughout the land in all moments. All pride of purpose is redistributed throughout the land in all moments. All pride of purpose is redistributed throughout the land in all moments.
The ugly chains of labels and judgment are immediately eradicated in all moments.
The ugly chains of labels and judgment are immediately eradicated in all moments. The ugly chains of labels and judgment are immediately eradicated in all moments. The ugly chains of labels and judgment are immediately eradicated in all moments. The ugly chains of labels and judgment are immediately eradicated in all moments. The ugly chains of labels and judgment are immediately eradicated in all moments.
The ebb that depletes humanity wanes in all moments.
The ebb that depletes humanity wanes in all moments. The ebb that depletes humanity wanes in all moments. The ebb that depletes humanity wanes in all moments. The ebb that depletes humanity wanes in all moments. The ebb that depletes humanity wanes in all moments.
All individuals embrace their sovereignty and providence in a tsunami of universal empowerment in all moments.
All individuals embrace their sovereignty and providence in a tsunami of universal empowerment in all moments. All individuals embrace their sovereignty and providence in a tsunami of universal empowerment in all moments. All individuals embrace their sovereignty and providence in a tsunami of universal empowerment in all moments. All individuals embrace their sovereignty and providence in a tsunami of universal empowerment in all moments. All individuals embrace their sovereignty and providence in a tsunami of universal empowerment in all moments.
All of humanity is centered and empowered in the providence of their universal empowerment in all moments.
All of humanity is centered and empowered in their providence of universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity is centered and empowered in their providence of universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity is centered and empowered in their providence of universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity is centered and empowered in their providence of universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity is centered and empowered in their providence of universal empowerment in all moments.
All of humanity resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life and the providence of their universal empowerment in all moments.
All of humanity resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the providence of their universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the providence of their universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the providence of their universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the providence of their universal empowerment in all moments. All of humanity resonates, emanates, and is interconnected with all life in the providence of their universal empowerment in all moments.
Take a deep breath, everybody.
If people watching are wondering, or, what is your purpose, or having trouble with that, I can't recommend doing the taps enough to help you distill your purpose. And I know, even my first session with you, Jen, helped remove what wasn't me and helped clear the way to let in what really was me. So I can't say enough about, if you really want a speedy, direct way, have a private session with you. But also doing the taps is a way to find out what your purpose is and to align more. In my own life, it's led to hearing animals and being able to just give to life more.
So, you know what I would tell people who need to get back to their purpose to do? Think about the things they enjoyed doing when they were 5, 6 years old and do them again. Get a set of Legos, get a coloring book, play with jacks. Do those games, because what you're doing when you do that is you're reconnecting with yourself before you were untainted. And you'll be folding time and space, and you'll be feeding your insight into that child that you were, but you'll also be feeding that childlike wonder into who you are now. So let's face it, not a lot of people are gonna get over the resistance to doing the SFT tapping or having a session with me. But you can go out and get a coloring book, get some Legos, get a plushie to hug. Plushies are great healers because you can pour all your pain and angst into a plushie and just pour it in without hurting them. Instead of dumping it on a friend and watching them go away and be sad and commiserate, get yourself a plushie, talk to a tree, figure out how to get rid of the stagnant energy that you've accrued over decades without inflicting it on another human being. When you give your angst to a tree, say some of us resonate with sitting under a tree and just feeling what that feels like. They don't take that pain and perceive it as pain. To them, it's just like fertilizer. It's energy. So they can absorb as much as you got, and it's not going to cripple them. The human nervous system is a delicate thing. So heal yourself by healing other people, by not inflicting your pain and commiserating on them, if possible.
So here's the interesting metaphysical understanding of all of this. When you are born, probably the millisecond or so before you actually breach into this mortal coil, you are probably closest to universal consciousness. So in that state of being truly connected to universal consciousness, the all-knowing, the all-understanding, an aspect of source. And for one reason or another, the human experience, then the veil of separation transcends at that moment, and then you need to figure it out. And a lot of people find it very difficult to figure it out. So, Jen, I think what you're saying is that when you are, connecting back into your childlike state, and even by sitting under a tree in that quiet contemplation, you are getting your mind or your spirit, if you like, back to almost that moment when you are the most pure reflection of an aspect of source before it got tainted by, the subjugation of, the life's journey, which is a pretty cool thing. And then the other thing that I would say is just picking up on Teresa's point is that a lot of people find it very difficult to find the stillness to connect with their passion and purpose because their mental mind is just racing and racing. There's so much baggage that they've taken on in the course of this life, but also working out many past lives that, the discovery of their purpose is just, not available to them. So I think what Therese was saying is that one aspect of that is to do the SFT tapping to clear off as much of that baggage as possible to give yourself some space to then connect in with your purpose. But you're right, Jen, also, not everyone has the inclination and the fortitude to do the leg work, which is the tapping, the energy work, possibly a private session with you to help accelerate that. But then getting back into nature to reconnect and, find that moment immediately prior to when the veil of separation really, took you off your purpose is a great.
Well, absolutely, Marvin. As you're speaking, I'm experiencing it like coming back into the body as a baby. And you know what we don't want to go back into my babyhood because that was a different story. But the individual usually coming back who's welcomed here, they're divided as soon as they come into the world by this linear world. What's the first thing you want to know when a baby is born? Whether it's a boy or a girl. Already you're taking this beautiful soul that's expansive and everything, and you're dividing it into one slot at A or B. And from that A or B, then all the decisions go into that. What will you put on them? What colors can they enjoy? What can they do? How can they act? How can they perceive? And so it's a real limitation when that happens. That's why in this world, when you're seeing more of unisex experience of people not choosing one sex over the other, that's actually an upgrade in consciousness. They have been able to buck the system of linear existence who's putting them into a category and separating them from their yin or their yang. So
you've just infuriated every MAGA zealot out there.
You're welcome. And I'm happy to do so because the unisex experience, to be able to experience your yin and your yang and interweave them, it's an art form. And those who are able to do it, and you can see it in their physicality, you can see the male energy and you can see the physical energy, that's the person I'm in awe of. What we see is beautiful, like in a magazine, isn't beautiful to me because I see all the insecurities and everything behind it and all the facade of makeup and airbrushing. But when you can see someone who accepts themselves so much that they're able to merge the yin and the yang and show up and be present in this world, that's a hero to me. That's what's beautiful to me. So, just saying.
Absolutely. And we're talking about gender fluidity and the increasing prevalence of that, which I agree with you, Jen, it's a great thing. It's an upgrade. And all of those that find that idea blasphemous in any sense, move on. You're on the wrong side of history.
Here's the time for my joke. You know what my pronoun is? Luscious, babies. Luscious.
You are luscious babies.
Thank you, babies.
Oh, dear.
You heard it here, people.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I really like what you guys were talking about purpose, and it makes me think about like with my own kids and the kids I come across and how even at a young age they were talking about what they wanted to be when they grew up, and they said, "Can I just have a list of what you can be?" And I was like, "No, that's not how it works. Like, what do you like to do? Like, what gives you joy? And they're like, oh, like that's how it works. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, well, I'll just pick one thing. I'm like, no, you don't just pick one thing. Like, what is multiple things that you like to do? So it's so interesting, even at a young age, how kids have this like limitation or programming of, yeah, just give me something I can do. So it's really cool when, you know, more adults will be able to tap into their own empowerment so they can empower their kids to not put that glass ceiling on them in society. And that's going to give them to their purpose. And that's going to help, you know, adults and parents tap into their own purpose and childlike, you know, joy.
So that's,
Sorry, can I just take up this? You've just said something really profound there. So here's the thing. For anyone who's a parent, and you know, a lot of we talk about politics a lot. So let me just sort of bring it into that for a second. For anyone that is at the, you know, conservative end of the spectrum that so values, core family values, right? You guys 100% want to make sure that everyone on this call and everyone that supports this, you know, momentum towards universal empowerment, you want to make sure we succeed, because what you want to make sure is that the broader society can accept and then bring into the fold all of these people, Angela, these parents that have empowered their kids to be free thinking, empowered entrepreneurs, bucking the system and bucking the trend. You want to make sure that there is a society and a collective that welcomes that with open arms, rather than just crushes them. And so for all of those with, you know, that whole dear conservative, you know, core family values, you want to get on board and make sure that your kids have a home, because your kids are going to go there anyway, thanks to people and parents like those that are conscious parenting. But even for those that aren't conscious parenting, their kids are going to do their best to get there. It's just that those that are conscious parenting are going to help their kids, you know, make that transition a little bit easier. But it's almost like there's a river flowing really fast in this direction, and the kids are part of that journey. And your parents can either support that, or they can put, dams in the way, but ultimately they're going to breach the dam. And you want to make sure that your kids on the other side have a home to live in.
that's amazing, because what I have to tell you is take it even further for them. Explain to these children that they are the leaders. They are the ones who are creating these new positions, that once they create them, and they're an archaeologist, an artist, and an astronomer, and a president and doctor all in one, that they're going to make this lane for all these other children, and they're going to expound on that. And so you teach them not to like close up and to go into a linear trajectory, but open up a society to and expound and tell them that.
Are you saying that they can have all the cookies in the jar, not just one? A doctor, a lawyer, an astronomer, a philosopher, all at once? Wow!
That's amazing. I'm still angry. Like when I was a little girl, I was so artistic. I was like an idiot savant. I just sat and created and crafts and anything. I made my own clothes, my own dolls. None of that was encouraged. And I know for me, it was probably meant to shut down so I could do the energy work. But I would have loved to do fashion and art and astronomy all at once. And it's frustrating to me, and I feel that frustration of children who are shut down. As a matter of fact, when I was in America, we drove by a high school all the time, and I would see the classrooms in there, and I could feel the disheartened kids just sitting in the class, and they weren't in their bodies. As they sat there and just opted out and just weren't interested, they were flying out the windows, and they were going off and go in and have their lunches and everything and energy. And they were trapped in there. Yeah, it's bad. Exactly. Do you experience that all the time?
Yeah, it's just like when I talk to other kids I watch and they're just like, I don't like school. And it's like, I feel really sad when I hear that because it's like, they're so like, I love learning and I love like teaching my kids to be lifelong learners. So it makes me sad that I know that kids are just like stuck in a room and just unhappy and not motivated.
Okay, I'm going to make you even sadder by telling you that what I see as the traditional classroom as it is right now is like a training ground for imprisonment, for being imprisoned. And that's what it is. It's like an indoctrination to just, suck it up and let your dreams die. There are great teachers out there, and there's a lot of people working to change that, and that's the exciting part. We just have to encourage all of that, and the SFT tapping and our work here does. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, well, a lot of things went through my head, but you had a really good point, Marvin, about the flower power, and that led into Jen saying about the games we used to do. I call it fun place, because it seems like today people are getting caught up, adults, not just children. The adults are getting caught up to where they're tired. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go no more. So they get very frustrated, and then it turns into a lot of bad things. And that fun place, where Jen was saying, if it's hopscotch, whatever, what I mean, playing with marbles, whatever. It was a time and a place in that person's life that was a good thing. And through life took it from them because life gets bad sometimes, you know what I mean? But we leave that happen to ourselves. And if we could go back there and have that playtime again and then build off of that, like Jen's saying, and you were going back to that flower power, it's like that's when they were putting daisies down in rifles and everything seemed to fit well. Then it all went to hell. Like you said, uh, Marvin, they kind of left that go and they wanted to get bigger, 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 the power mongers and all that, and they forgot where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got to say about that.
The beauty of all that, Jeff, is that, yes, it did get bigger and bigger and bigger. And what we're watching now in current events is a shit show. Just sit back and watch, eat your popcorn and watch how power is trying to rule the world, and how it's not that things have gotten more evil in the world or out of hand. It's that we're all aware enough to see it now. So that's the upgrade. Power has always been, taking advantage of the little person. But now we're all watching it and we're saying, enough is enough. We're not going to take this anymore. We're going to take back our empowerment and be a part of the human experience again.
So why can't people get it? That, I mean, you guys are like, you're showing people, you're like actually the universe of teachers. And I've never seen anybody out there do what you guys do. So why is it so hard just for people to get it?
Because it doesn't represent just a few people. It represents literally 8 billion people, like we say, being upgraded. And so the status quo doesn't want that to happen, so it's going to shove everything in the way to block that from happening. But the fact that we're here talking is evidence that times have changed, because in past times, if someone like me who was doing energy healing so miraculously was on the planet, I would have been killed. I would have been, taken out and eliminated. So a lot of people are afraid to speak their truth, but the fact that other people like us are out here speaking truth, we would be first in line. So you're safe to speak truth because we exist here, and we would, be the bigger target, something like that. Can you say it better, babies?
Probably not, but we continue to do the work, and that's the important thing. And the other thing is that one way or another, and this is just a reflection of the universal flow of energy, there is a momentum in a positive direction. So that's the silver lining. But it just means that we continue to do the work like we did today, like everyone on the Zoom call joins us every couple of days. And we've got a whole program of tapping coming up over the next couple of weeks, coinciding with various portals and events that are relevant to whatever the topic of the tapping is. So stay tuned for that.
I just want to say that we make it look really easy in the tarot side, but you guys understand what resistance there is within yourselves. And Marvin watches what I go through to get to this point. Like watching people and energy dying and helping them cross over, and intangible things that we don't speak of because people aren't ready to hear it and it's too scary. But it's all matter of fact. It's just part of the process of gaining your empowerment, and it's beautiful. And people are getting strong enough to perceive an energy without being afraid of it anymore.
All right. Keep an eye on the Jenuine Healing YouTube channel, the Jenuine Healing website. That's where all the content is available. My personal perspective is that viewing this content ad-free in high-quality streaming on the website is probably the way to go. So take advantage of that. We put a lot of effort into make all of that available to you for free. Keep an eye on things. Look forward to catching you next time. Bye for now.
Bye for now, everybody. We love you.
Hi, and thanks for watching another one of our videos. All our content is available on social media and streamed in high definition, ad-free on the Jenuine Healing website. If you appreciate the work that we're doing and you love the content we're creating, please consider becoming a Jenuine Healing supporter. Simply follow the link in the description below, select your level of support, and know that your financial contribution is directly helping us continue our profound work in healing all of humanity, one soul at a time. Thanks for your support. Look forward to catching you next time, and bye for now.